Hi, my name is Ilda Zilkin, and I'm the author of Blue Mountain Mist. I am sitting here today doing another entry, and this one has to do with her discovery on July 1st, 2013 of Kanata means wings. It's been a long journey, almost a decade, and in the wings of evil, some might say, there was a lot of pain inside Canada. So everybody loves Nicki Minaj, and in her video, Hey Mama, Say My Name, with David Guetta, you see a whole bunch of those guys crossing the desert, dancing. They were dispatched into Canada the minute they got a hold that Kanata means wings. Now, they didn't understand certain things, that this is an ongoing hidden war since 1998. It's in the background, and I think someone was out to get them as well. That is her inclination on it. There are conflicts continuous, and this is why it's called a cluster 3, and it's part of cluster 3's history. Now, this particular collection of 40 or 50 videos that are presented online are completely done with non-marketing or anything like that. It's just random shoots, and it's very, very important, because in the future, even if they're redone or redone at the present moment, it illustrates the difficulty of that 1998 release of The Devil's Tongue, which is Turkic, is the first linguistic of Earth. But of course, these guys in the United States, they have are very close to Bollywood, because they are Hollywood. Bollywood is their alternative version. And between the intercourse, they all love each other. They're very, very hippie in nature. They also liked Hannah's notes on The Real Evolve. But how did these guys in the United States get the notes? Because it started with her Ottoman journal. When she did the Ottoman journal in 2007, 2008, 2009, someone took that journal and was very, very malicious and ran into the Christie Community Center, which is for the Kurds, and started screaming. Now, what was common knowledge in Turkey was not common knowledge with the Ottoman journals. Those journals were given to her, what was the training of her father, but they didn't realize she was already inside Wolfville herself. So the girl started screaming her head off, and they made her a queen, or whatever the case may be. I don't know about that. But a lot of things happened on the Danforth. There was, you have a partner, and it was very, very embarrassing. It was almost like a crucifixion on the Danforth. Now, this is the authentic version, and we have like 10,000 screaming Greeks for, this female that ran off with the Ottoman portion. Immediately at that time, Hannah was pulled out of it, but she wasn't even fully aware of that, because she had previously done the Animal to Hominid journal. Now, the Animal to Hominid journal, why did she do that? She was trying to make a better world, because she was already listed as a chosen with her 2003 anthropology work. 2003 war research, and the war research was done because it was something that she was interested in, the accountability of human. You have to understand, Hannah grew up in the era of civil rights. Her thought process is very different from the average person, but she was doing the work on the Iraq portion of study for regarding wars and certain things that she was interviewing at that particular time. So the Ottoman just added to the fuel, and the anthropology portion, again, these guys came into Canada and said, anything black belongs to us, and they got all emotional, and they were supporting Hannah 100%. It's just there was some problems with what they did, because they are linked to India, and India got China involved, and China and India wanted to control the world, and they were doing it via Kanat. Now, Kanata is a Turkic word, but this is what, I waited approximately 10 years for their bubble of entertainment to calm down, because Kanata is actually not found in any Turkish dictionary prior to July 1st, 2013. So here is an antique kind of book, and it is not found in that book. Now take a guess why, because it's actually a native word. And, you know, Kanata is a native word, and the difference between Kanata and then settlement of Kanat is about 30,000 years, is Hanna's guess. And you have to understand, one is hunter-gatherer, the other is making up the portions of Khans, and, you know, Khans are a completely different era. However, they turned this completely into political, and they wanted to ensure that, you know, they had a foothold in the Canadian market because of Hanna's discovery of Kanata means wings. When she ran to court, immediately in the following room, there was these bouncy blonde chicks. Again, I think it's part of this. And they had already known about the Ottoman portion and the anthropology journal. Remember, these are entertainers that have sometimes have difficulties interacting, and I'm not too sure, but either way, we are going through the authentic version. So make a long story short, today, when we go into this same book and look up Kanata, it's there. There's a problem. It means, it's the first one. There's only one little line, and it means water pipeline. That is very, very new, the concept of water pipeline. So someone broke into Hanna's house and altered the actual dictionary. So we're talking big fraud with the Ivy Leagues now. You have to understand, there's Harvard, there's Oxford, there's Yale, big fraud. There's China, there's India, to the point that you can come into someone's house, break in, and change documents and change dictionaries. And why are they presenting a word? Because we share dialogues across the board, from Africa into Yakut and into First Nations. We share dialogues. So why would a word like Kanat, which is the phonetic of Kanata, Kanat, actually have water pipelines? That is because it was part of the Sun collection. It was part of her war research and bettering society. These are just 100 proposals to better humanity. And so someone took sections, large sections of her notes, and re-altered a book. That is not normal at all. So between the interagency conflict of media, between the bouncy chicks that are presenting their feathers, between India, who gave her the most grief, which is really odd because she's very close with the Indian community. What ended up happening is she practically split the Indian community in two, because she was closer with the poorer Indians versus the richer Indians. She really was convinced that the richer Indians were out to get the poorer ones, and they just didn't give a shit, because clearly you can't possibly care if you're stopping a production like the real Evolve, which according to both groups, they're not stopping it. It's China. And when you ask China, it's not China, it's Canada. And when you ask Canada, it's not Canada, it's the Armenians. And if you ask the Armenians, it's not Armenians, it's Israel. They kept playing games. But here is what they didn't get. And I waited, oh God, the Lord knows I waited for this one. When you have words in Blue Mountain Miss that don't belong to any phonetic in any dictionary, you have to be a specialist. And they whacked off a lot of the Turkologists. And when they knew they were losing, that is when we had another cluster. And forget about changing the demographics of Canada. Now they're changing the demographics of Russia. They're changing the demographics of Africa. It became real warfare. And like I said, those are predator wings. It was awful, all the events that went on. So between the life lost in the interagency conflict, between her Sun collections, just 5 out of 70 journals being put here and there, between her Google Plus being closed down, they took one of the specialists, or one of the blesseds, and that's why she got the name of prophet, because these things are not known in humanity. They're novel. And how do you know that? Well, if someone goes and changes dictionaries and changes the whole demographics of Canada, that might give you a clue that, you know, this person here is the authentic one. But then they pulled a fast one because they knew she was worth 40 billion and they were adamant not to give it to her. What did they do? They removed limbs and reattached it. They changed fingerprints. They broke her shoulder bone and her neck bone and reattached it. And they injured so many Canadians. And it was one of the most horrifically sad thing. You know, the lives lost, part of C3's history, and we are documenting it today. And the skies knows there was so much profanity involved because you have invaders in your country, and after they did such deformities, for the longest time they would break in, and again, this is now our world of intel chips, put Secret Service to sleep, put Hannah to sleep and dye her hair black, and then come back. Just today, Hannah woke up and now she's a blonde again, after all these injuries, and they want her to try again, whatever that means. But she is the legal owner, and she doesn't mind trying again. Absolutely not. She's a good sport like that. But she wants accountability for the massive injuries to a person, and she wants the world to know that whoever they supported, they were absolutely the biggest asses in the history of man, because Hannah is known for social betterment, and they're choosing medicals or they're choosing intel chips. I'm not too sure. This is the kind of conflict, real conflict we had. And why is this happening? This is happening because they went into countries that are historically very poor and gave them a cracker. This is the polite version of it. And they just didn't know how to act with G8 countries. And that is the honest truth. So this is the kind of difficulties we ran into. You got a quick overview of, you know, Turkology between Kanata and Khanate. You know, even the Turks themselves ran to Africa telling the blacks to teach them about blacks, which was really funny. And, you know, they're making the Chinese women sleep with black men. It was really beyond unbelief in terms of our history. Again, we are still pushing the real evolve. We are hoping we get the mandate and the support. Thank you and have a good day.